Well, folks, the Pokemon leaks just keep getting crazier. We have new information on Legends Z-A, including the fact that it was supposed to release in 2024. We have leaked Pokemon movie information, both live action and animated. We have literally hundreds and even thousands of documents on leaked Pokemon designs, concept art, as well as an official statement from Game Freak itself on the hack. There is a lot to talk about in today's video. Let's get into it. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Games. Today we are talking more about this Game Freak hack. Now, unfortunately, it goes without saying, I can't actually show any of the leaked images of the designs, of the anime, of anything that's actually leaked. I can talk about it, I can show you some text documents, right? But I cannot show you the actual art that has leaked. I highly recommend you follow the Twitter account or X account at Centro Leaks. They are kind of posting and compiling everything. It's also just all over Twitter. I imagine their Twitter account might get taken down. Some of these posts will get taken down, but this information is all out there, and we actually have a new official statement from Game Freak. But here's the interesting thing with this. It's not actually new. The statement was posted on October 10th. So we'll read here real quick. They say, notice and apology regarding unauthorized access. Now, this is in Japanese. Here's a machine-translated version of it. Notice and apology regarding the leakage of personal information due to unauthorized access. In connection with unauthorized access by a third party to our server in August of 2024, it was found that personal information by our employees, etc., was leaked. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience and concern it caused to everyone involved. So, leaked personal information, personal data about employees, etc., names, company addresses, number of cases. Apparently, there's over 2,600 cases of this happening. Response to those who have been confirmed to have leaked personal information, we will contact the applicable employees individually. For those who aren't able to contact us individually due to retirement, etc., we will inform you in this announcement, and we will set up an inquiry window regarding the matter and respond. And that's kind of all they really say here. They're not actually talking about, hey, it's unfortunate that all this content leaked. They're really just focusing on the employees and their personal information, which, like I said in yesterday's video, that is so unfortunate, right? That is so sad, and I really hope that people don't do anything malicious with the leaked information, because there is a lot of leaked information about the employees over at Game Freak. People are looking at this leak as a way to beat down on Nintendo. It's like, yeah, we're striking back, Nintendo. They get screwed for making bad Pokemon games or whatever. That's annoying. I hate that behavior. It's so sad that this is happening to this company, and it's sad mostly for the employees that had their personal information leaked. However, on the other side of the coin, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not going to look at all of the information that is leaking in terms of like the new games and the new Pokemon designs and all that. I'm not going to sit here on a high horse and pretend like I'm not going to, look at this information. So that is the statement they put out. I don't know if they'll put out like a more updated statement. Like I said, this was 3 days ago, so they were actually ahead of it a little bit, and now they're actually getting all of this leaked data. It makes me wonder if maybe the person who got access to all the files, the 1 terabyte plus of data, maybe they try to do some ransom thing where like, hey, you're going to give us money or we're going to leak all this information. Game Freak probably at that point, like, okay, they hacked us, but they also probably said, no, we're not going to pay you. That's what I imagine probably happened here. That's why this press statement came out a couple days before for employees to kind of look at and know, like, hey, this is happening. But let's get into what is actually leaked. So we'll start off with the main thing, the new game information that we have. We don't have much, right? The leaker is being a little weird, and they're saying, like, I don't want to spoil the new games or anything like that. However, we did literally just, right before I started recording, get some information on Legends Z-A. 3 major pieces of information. If you want to count these as spoilers, they are spoilers, so maybe click off this video if you don't want to see them. But reading from Central Leaks here, they say, Pokemon Legends Z-A leaks. Mega Zygarde is happening. It's planned to appear in the anime, which is actually how I believe this information leaked, because a ton of anime documents have leaked, including like literal like transcriptions of meetings are leaking. That's how serious this leak is. But Mega Zygarde, not surprising. I think most of us are going to say like, okay, they're doing Legends Z-A. We're going to get new Mega Evolutions. Zygarde, probably Xerneas as an Yveltal as well. We'll get Mega Evolutions. So that's not that surprising. Mega Zeraora 2. Now that might not be necessarily related to Legends Z, I believe, but Mega Zeraora is happening from, of course, from Gen 7. And then this is the most interesting thing. Originally planned for a 2024 release. Legends Z-A was supposed to come out this year. Now, we can kind of assume that Legends Z-A full development started right after Legends Arceus came out, while the other team worked on Scarlet and Violet, and from there, it probably was planned for a 2024 release. I am guessing, once again, this is an assumption until we get more information. There could be more information by the time you even see this video. It was probably planned for that 2024 release until Scarlet and Violet happened, and maybe it's Pokemon Company itself kind of policing Game Freak and saying like, okay, no more. We're not going to rush these games anymore. We're going to give you the time. And that's why I got delayed to 2025. I think it's also possible that Nintendo stepped in and said, hey, this build you sent us or whatever, right? Like, this is not good enough. It's not at our quality bar we want to see for this game. You're going to push it to 2025. But we did hear some rumblings that apparently, according to this leaker, and you know, the information is coming from all these different places, it's a little hard to kind of figure out what is exactly accurate and what is actually just someone making something up. But apparently there's like a pretty complete build of Legends Z-A out there. I talked about that. It has not leaked to us yet, but apparently included in this leak, they're kind of keeping it to themselves. There is a pretty finalized build of Legends Z-A, which if it was planned for a 2024 release, honestly makes sense. If this isn't a hack from August 2024, it makes sense that they would have a pretty finalized version of Legends Z-A, because if they delayed it to, let's say, March 2025, which after hearing that it was supposed to come out this year, I do think it will be very early in 2025, and we'll talk about that more in just a second. The game's probably done, and they're probably just polishing it up for the next, 6-7 months until it releases. So that is huge. It also, to me, indicates, and this is what I was just referencing, this to me says we're probably getting another game next year of some kind. Now, I don't know if that would necessarily be Generation 10. Maybe it's just a weird Ilka Splatoon-like game we're hearing about that I talked about in yesterday's video. I don't know, but I think if Legends Z-A was supposed to come out in 2024, you can bet they probably had something else planned for 2025. Gen 10 is probably the most likely candidate, and it is possible that when they push Legends Z-A to 2025, they might have pushed that to 2026. That is possible, but I think if this is releasing in early 2025, given that it was supposed to come out in 2024, we are probably getting something else in holiday 2025. That's where I'm at right now until we see any more information. I think we will probably get something else in 2025 in November. And I think that also helps the idea from this leak that Gen 10 is being tested on the Switch 1. If Gen 10 releases in 2025, that makes sense as a Switch 1 game, because the Switch 2 will either not be out yet or have just released maybe a few months prior, whereas the speculation for a while now for a lot of us was Generation 10, 2026, 30th anniversary, that kind of thing, right? If it's releasing in 2025, it's definitely coming to Switch 1. I don't think Game Freak would move to the Switch 2 that fast. They might have a Switch 2 version, certainly, but it would likely also be on the current Switch, I imagine. All right, next up, let's talk about a lot of anime information and live-action movie stuff, because I cannot show any of this. I'm gonna be very careful here so that Pokemon Company and Nintendo don't come for this video. But basically, everything you can imagine relating to the anime has leaked. I'm not going to get into specific spoilers. There are specific plot spoilers for a lot of stuff, including the Horizons anime, like the ending of Horizons has leaked, I believe. I'm not going to get into that here. It's out there if you want to look for it. I don't want to spoil that for you. However, the actual idea of like a new movie releasing, that is interesting to me, and I want to talk about that. Starting off with The Great Detective Pikachu. A sequel to the Detective Pikachu movie has been in development since 2021. It was originally planned for release in 2024. I believe the director is Jordan Vogt Roberts, who is the director of Kong Skull Island, the MonsterVerse movie, the kind of Godzilla thing there. So he's the director of the movie. The complete plot for this movie has leaked. I have not looked at that. I do not want to see that. But yes, The Great Detective Pikachu is apparently a movie that was supposed to come out this year. I don't know if it's been filmed yet. That would be kind of a crazy thing to not have leak at this point in time, like normal leak, not a hack leak. So I don't know. I don't know if I think this movie's still coming out or if it's been in development hell. Maybe it's canceled. Either way, at some point, a Detective Pikachu sequel was supposed to come out in 2024, and we have not seen that as of right now. But there was actually some even crazier live-action movie information that came out. Reading once again from Central Leaks here, they say a trilogy live-action movie series was planned for Pokemon. So I can't show the image, but the first image is the Detective Pikachu logo. Then it is the logo for The Great Detective Pikachu, which is leaked. But then also they see here, Game Boy aims to dig deep into the theme of Pokemon's boundless potential, creating a story that highlights the importance of bonds, whether between friends or Pokemon themselves. This is a movie that was tentatively titled Game Boy, I think. At first glance, it may seem like a simple story, but by showcasing unexpected situations, such as the moments when bonds are broken or how one overcomes trauma, it brings out its unique flavor. When one bond ends, a new bond is born. You may not know that yet. This sounds like a heartfelt concept for a film. Let me know if you'd like to dive deeper into any particular part of it. That's kind of like what the Japanese text on the leaked image says, so I'm not sure if this is someone that was like kind of pitching it or what, but I'm not really sure how this would fit into the trilogy. I guess they're just saying it's a trilogy because it's 3 live-action Pokemon movies, but also the idea that it would be called a Game Boy, that makes it kind of sound almost like a documentary or like a biopic kind of thing about the creation of Game Boy, and then of course the Pokemon series. So I don't know if it'd actually be connected to Detective Pikachu. That doesn't seem necessarily accurate, but apparently there's a Game Boy movie in some phase of development happening. I don't know. That's crazy. Here's a huge one, and this one actually has some concept art leaked. I cannot show it, obviously, once again, but They say here, okay, here's a big one. Pokemon Movie 24 info. I know, what was the last movie? The Jungle movie with Zarude. So that was a while ago, right? It's been a while since we got an animated Pokemon movie. Apparently, there was supposed to be one released in 2023. It's in development hell since 2021, codenamed Bower. This film was being thought of as a reboot of the movie universe to reconnect with lapsed fans and to try to get more adult audience to watch the film. It's set in modern Kanto, and the main mythical Pokemon of the plot is a Mew. Big shocker. Two new protagonists, Light and Akari, male and female. The idea is that the film will touch modern society problems like cyberbullying and suicide. Directed by Kuban Shizuno from the Detective Conan series. I guess they directed some Detective Conan movies. The concept art is crazy. It is this girl using a Talonflame or maybe a Pidgeotto to escape from a bunch of other attacking flying types, like a Swoobat's in there, an Aerodactyl is in there, and I believe a Talonflame. But in this concept art, she is actually holding a new Pokemon, which according to the leak, its name is like Aperon or Aperon, I believe. And it's just a completely new Pokemon in this concept art. So who knows if this is still going to release? If it was in development since 2021, planned to release in 2023, it's already been a full year since it was supposed to release, and we still haven't even seen it announced. Who knows? The themes of like cyberbullying and suicide being part of the plot, I wonder if maybe they thought that was like too much, right? Like maybe they were like, okay, maybe we should rework this and not focus on that for this movie. But a new movie set in modern Kanto with Mew as the main mythical doesn't sound out of line. I mean, they've done that a lot, right? With what was the Pokemon movie Evolution, I believe, which was a remake of the first movie or something. I don't really keep up with the anime or like the movies or anything, I'll be honest. So I'm not too familiar, but seemingly there is a new animated movie that we should get hopefully soon, if it's not completely canceled at this point. Another project that was planned for release in 2023 was a new Pokemon anime called Reload. This is an all-age anime series co-produced with Twin Engine, a planning and production company affiliated with Studio Coloridio, known for A Whisker Away. It was going to be 12 episodes with 21 minutes per episode over 1 year. It was going to be on Netflix, Amazon Prime. Theatrical release in Japan simultaneous with the start of streaming. So they say here the 12 episodes will be split into 4 groups of 3 episodes each, with event screenings in theaters and then wide distribution across online platforms like Netflix and Amazon, and that it was originally supposed to come out in 2023, and that seemingly once again is in kind of development hell. I really like that idea. I don't know if it would happen in America, but the idea of a 12-episode anime series being released as 3 different movies, or I guess four different movies, I would love that. I doubt that would happen in America, but that'd be really cool, right? To get this entire Pokemon anime and get to see it in theaters. I would definitely go see that. But this one, we'll see if this actually happens. And just for those that might be doubtful of this leak, once again, Game Freak put out a statement on it, but also I can't show it in this video. There are literal like documents and like design documents and stuff for these anime that have leaked. So it's definitely real. Just kind of reading through some of Central Leak's tweets here. Once again, cannot show this, or I probably could, but I'm not going to risk it. Like I said, there are some meetings that have been transcribed. Like the transcriptions of meetings have leaked. That's how serious this leak is. The meeting they had with the Pokemon Company and Game Freak, as well as some staff on the anime, the meeting they had regarding, you know, removing Ash and Pikachu from the anime, like that has leaked. The meeting where they decided that. That is crazy. It's so interesting to read through and kind of like think about like why they got rid of these things. Just scrolling through their Twitter account here, like I said, there's literally thousands of documents relating to concept art for the anime. It's mostly like kind of like each page is one of the Pokemon, and then it's kind of like a little design Bible, I guess. And then also going back to some kind of show information here, there is a live action show coming from Netflix. It's going to be 8 episodes. It was supposed to come out this year. That sounds kind of higher budget. Makes me think it might be positioned more as like a big deal like the One Piece live action was, or the Avatar The Last Airbender live action was. Maybe Netflix sees this as a pretty big opportunity to make Pokemon like a big Netflix thing. I mean, it kind of already is. We already get the anime there and Pokemon Concierge. So that's interesting. And then, yeah, the other major thing that's come out so far over the past 24 hours that I didn't really get to talk about in yesterday's video is all of the beta design Pokemon. So I'm recording this at 5 a.m. on Sunday, October 13th. As of right now, basically, Generation 3, 4, and 5 have been blown wide open. A lot of beta versions of these games have leaked, prototype versions, and just a ton of designs. Like, I'm talking dozens, even maybe in the 100+ range of designs for Gen 3 Pokemon leaked, which is just crazy. Now, there was a little bit of a mishap that happened where Central Leaks, because there were so many leaks happening so fast, there were a couple of fake Pokemon that got mixed in. There was one specifically of like a rock that had a worm in it, as well as a Tanuki Pokemon. Those are fake, but most of this stuff is real. You can kind of see some prototype designs that ended up becoming Pokemon way later too, as well as just a ton of canceled Pokemon that never saw the light of day. But one of them I saw for Gen 3 for Ruby and Sapphire was a very early design for Scraggy, which is crazy to see. It's a very like it's like a snake Pokemon, but it's holding up its pants like Scraggy does. We didn't see Scraggy until Gen 5, but the leak was for Gen 3, so Scraggy is something they had been kind of tossing around for a while there. We saw concept art for Kyurem and the original dragon for Black and White, which is crazy to say because, I mean, I love Black and White. I love the lore of Black and White, so seeing the original dragon is insane, like absolutely insane, as well as like concept art for Reshiram and Zekrom, where Reshiram used to have like and both of them actually had like more kind of line designs on them. Like Reshiram kind of had some red designs on him, and then Zekrom I think had blue or maybe green kind of like highlights on him all over. Tons of character bios and documents talking about like what characters are based on. So like they say Drayden from Black and White, the Dragon Gym leader, he is apparently based on Hulk Hogan as well as some others. I believe, who was it? There was another one who was actually based on Johnny Depp from Gen 5. So that's all crazy. It's interesting to see like their thought process and how they were designing things and why they designed certain characters kind of look like how they do in the final versions. There's a really interesting image going around I will not show, but it's from 2005, August 1st, 2005. It is a document created by Junichi Masuda, and it's basically like a lore Bible circle thing. If you know the image from Pokemon Platinum, or maybe it's some Diamond and Pearl, with Arceus kind of spawning in, and then there's the big circles, and there's like 3 other circles within the circle. There's like a design document on that with a bunch of names for other Pokemon, kind of like describing how all of the legendaries and mythicals connect, or something along those lines. So not only are we getting new game information, not only are we getting leaked designs, not only are we getting anime and movie information, we're also just getting like really detailed lore and all that from the Pokemon Company and from these leaks. So very, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Now, as I close off this video, I want to say, as of right now, Generation 6, so X and Y, as well as Generation 7, Sun and Moon, have not started leaking. However, apparently it's going to happen. Supposedly, there's 200 gigs of X and Y information in this data breach. There's 240 gigs of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire information in this data breach. And then I'm not sure how much Gen 7 there is, but there's going to be a lot more. And that's obviously way more than what we've gotten, like for these GBA games and DS games. Granted, those are sprites. It's a lot smaller assets. For the 3D games, it makes sense that it would take up a lot more space. But that sounds like we're going to be getting some substantial X and Y and Sun and Moon leaks, which is going to be, I mean, that's going to be insane. We're going to get probably a bunch of scrapped Mega Evolutions, I imagine, which is going to be exciting to see. I love X and Y, man. I love X and Y so much, and I'm excited to see what comes out of that. We might even get more lore stuff with the war and stuff. It's obviously not good that this leak happened, especially in regards to the future of the company and the future of the anime and the games and all that. Like, that's stuff that they should be able to reveal on their own time and their own way. But seeing all of this legacy content that was scrapped or, just for whatever reason not included in the games, that stuff is so exciting to see because we otherwise would have never seen it. So it sucks that they got hacked, and my thoughts are with all of the employees who had their personal information shared. Seeing, Beta Meloetta is freaking awesome. I'm not going to deny that. And as I close off this video, one final leak for now has come out, or kind of just interesting piece of information. They say here on Central Leaks, interesting info about Gaia, which is the leaked codename for Generation 10 of Pokemon. They say this is a meeting between Game Freak and the anime staff. They're talking about how the current anime has a little synergy with Titan, which is the codename for Scarlet and Violet, and instead they want to head into a Gaia-like direction. No idea what this means for Gaia, honestly. It's up for interpretation. They talk about how the current anime has a similar atmosphere to Gaia, possibly due to developing the game alongside it. So kind of just getting more synergy with the new generation of the game and the current anime, and I kind of want to just make these things kind of have a little bit more of a connection, whereas with Scarlet and Violet, that was very much disconnected from the anime that we have right now. So very interesting stuff. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If any more major leaks happen, I will do another video later today. Otherwise, we'll let it simmer for a couple days and we'll come back. I do want to do a full video talking about Legends Z-A and how it was supposed to come out this year, because that is so interesting, and I think does indicate that we could get another game next year as well, if that wasn't also delayed. And then, yeah, all this anime and movie stuff is just crazy. So let me know your thoughts. Of course, subscribe here for more Pokemon leaks, Nintendo news, all that fun stuff. Follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames. Follow Central Leaks on Twitter also if you want to keep up with all this information. And until next time, folks, peace.